Hello and welcome to another episode of Agri Art. In the Battle of Mohacs in 1526, the Ottoman Empire won a key piece of land, allowing for this empire to obtain Western Hungary, Upper Hungary, and Transylvania. As a consequence of this loss, a great deal of the Byzantine Christian culture was destroyed. The garden commissioned by King Matthias Corvinus was discontinued, and a great many gardens were destroyed. The unfinished garden of King Matthias Corvinus remains a subject of interest within landscape history even to this day. During the 17th century or the late Renaissance era, there was a great garden culture within the Carpathian Basin. The researcher Dr. Albert Fekete hopes to learn as much about the ancient gardens of old as possible, utilizing various papers written throughout the centuries on this topic. Let's get started. In 1474, the King Matthias married Argonian Beatrix of Italy. The consequence of this marriage was the influx of notable Italian painters, sculptors, and architects. This would influence garden styles within Hungary, with the import of Italian garden elements such as hanging gardens, mazes, walk porches, shaped trimmed trees, and bushes. The gardens would be augmented with Turkish influence following the conquest of this region by the Ottoman Empire. During the era of Turkish occupation, the Transylvanian gardener Gaber Befelen changed the face of gardening nature within this region, creating fruit, flower, and cypress gardens. His successor would continue his work, and this garden style was broadly based off of common gardens found in farms, and modeled after farm folklore and law. Such rules that existed during this time included no cutting down or trimming of fruit trees, no damaging vineyards, and no horses in fruit groves. The analysis of these gardens by Dr. Albert Fekete laid out the evolution and important elements of a Carpathian Basin garden. These include vegetable, flower, fruit, game, and bee gardens, and the intersections between these different groups. In terms of flower gardens, most of them are formal gardens with herbaceous flowers, herbs, and spices, in that pattern and order. Such gardens were often grown alongside, and in association with, vegetable gardens. The design of the flower garden depends on the arrangement of the landscape, the lifestyle, the philosophy, and the social economic situation of each individual. The extensive influence of both Rome and Turkey meant that such gardens were respites from the constant wars, with their nations being prizes. The author speculates that it's within this framework that the early signs of independent nationalism began to appear, starting within these gardens. These were also grown alongside apiaries, with Transylvania being the top honey producer during this era. Hello, I just want to let you know, if you want to fund this channel, you can do so on the platforms seen in the description below. In general, a vegetable garden would be part of a section of an overall geometrical garden. If one of the planted vegetables was the primary vegetable, the garden would be named after that species. A cabbage garden, for instance. Peas, beans, lettuce, green onion, radish, garlic, and herbs were the most common of vegetables. For orchards, the dominant fruit tree was sour cherry, but apples and plums were also major fruit trees. With these ancient orchards, much of the trees were grown in a trellis style, alongside grapes and various climbing vegetables such as beans. We'll conclude by talking about the various forms of game. Within the orchards, various forms of game were allowed to wander. Such orchards were often found in various castles and mansions. The game included native fauna such as deer and elk, and imported species such as peafowl, Canadian goose, and bison. And that about covers everything. Thank you for watching.